Up next, unboxing the Radtel RT-860 scanner radio thingamajig. IJDM starts now.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
Okay, let's get this unboxed. Well, what do we get? A charger with one of those little wall warts and the USB cable. Nothing to really interesting to see there. You get an antenna, you get a battery pack, and you also get the clip, which is attached to the battery pack. Slides on, clips on there. Nothing interesting. You get an antenna. The antenna screws on, simple as that. Yes, this is the Radtel Radio. I mean, yeah, pretty much in a nutshell. Now, what can I say about this radio? Well, first thing is, if you're just using it for VHF, UHF, ham radio, and FM, yeah, this antenna is fine. Anything else, yeah, you're going to need the other antenna. And there is different ones you can get. I just went with one of these gimmicks. Got it on eBay. I think it was like 10 bucks. It's one of those SMA male screw-on deals with the extendable antenna on it, and it seems to do just fine. I'm sure maybe one of those coily shortwave things would work good. So what is this radio? Well, this is pretty much a Swiss Army knife of a radio. It's got just about anything you would want to receive different signals, and if I don't get, or frequencies, if I don't get all these right or I miss one, then feel free to make a comment. Yeah, you missed this frequency or this band. We basically get the long wave band. Not much going on there. Don't really get much in on that. You get the shortwave band. Lots of channels, lots of interesting things come in on that. You also have upper sideband, and I believe it also has lower sideband. You also get AM radio. Yes, AM radio. You also get CB radio. You also get FM, UHF, VHF, and some of the air channels for like airlines and stuff. Although I found this radio doesn't really receive them too well compared to one of my other radios I've shown in the past. I'm not really sure why that is, but I mean, air traffic is kind of boring to listen to. I mean, they're just guiding them in, and it kind of gets boring after a while. Listen, I bought this purely for just monitoring and to use as a portable scanner, and it does a great job at that. Yes, it does transmit, and like the infamous Baeofeng Radio, UV5R, and some of the other ones that they made, you are not supposed to transmit on the GMRS, FRS, MERS channels. If you want to use the ham frequencies, you must have a license. So therefore, we will not be touching that key in any way on this video. All right, first things first, and we'll get this out of the way. I just take this little plug off right here and then screw this on. Simple as that. And be careful not to cross thread, but I mean, Oh, the other thing you get in the box is, of course, the manual. I threw that away immediately because I rather confuse myself and have to look it up on the internets to see what is exactly going on with this radio. Now, I did read through the manual and got the basic functionality down. Starting on the top, of course, the two different antennas. You get the volume on off button, emergency button, which can be reprogrammed to something else. You also get your PTT button, a second PTT button, which can be modified, again, customized. Most of these buttons are customizable, along with this other second side button is what I believe they call this in the menus. On this side, of course, once you take this little hatch off with this kind of annoying screw deal, which I'm not crazy about, a little rubber piece would have been nice instead of dealing with this. Honestly, I'm not going to be using any type of headset or external thing for it. I don't think too much, so it's not a big deal. The handy part about this radio is if you don't want to bring this charger along, or that cradle, it has a USB port right here on the side where you can charge it up and, of course, listen to it while it's charging. I kind of like having this with me, though, when I have it outside or I'm just kind of hanging out. It kind of makes a nice thing to set it into, and I just leave it like this, and I need to charge it, I charge it. That's all there is to it there. Backside is the battery with the belt clip, and I cannot remember for the life of me how to get this battery off of here. There's a trick to it somewhere. I think I gotta get my finger down in somewhere in here. Well, somehow, some way, There it is. You got to pull this little thing up and then pop that off for you. Nice metal interior with, of course, the plastic exterior. None of that gushy rubber stuff that turns to liquid goo after about a year or two. So none of that to worry about here. I did notice that some radios and, of course, most electronics have that nice, soft texture on it that turns to goo after a while. And then we got our keypad and then, of course, our navigation buttons here. Nothing to see on the bottom except the releases I showed you, and I think that's about it. Yeah, let's turn this on. Let's see what is going on with this. And greeted with the Radtel RT-860. And right away, and I'm not going to blur any frequencies if you live in the Tampa Bay area. This is freely available online, which frequencies you can scan. But I simply have this set up so that I can go through different frequencies. Even though it says police, it doesn't actually work. The police bands here in this area, I believe, are all on the 800 megahertz on a digital system. This only receives analog signals, so you won't be able to monitor police frequencies in most areas if you're on that 800 digital system. And I do believe it says that it'll go all the way up to 800, 900 megahertz. Never actually tried punching in an 800 number, so let's just try 812000. Yeah, see, try 850. Whoop, wait, did it just do it? Yeah, okay, so it does get in 800, so it skips over a bunch of stuff that really nothing's going on, and then jumps you right over to right around 800 to probably 900 something frequencies. Yeah, there it is there too. So we have that there. This basically switches your mode from VFO to memory mode or channel mode, which allows you to scan through all your programmed channels. And I got a bunch of them in here. I got my GMRS channels in here. I have all my ham radio frequencies in here. I have also marine band, one I left out, marine band channels in here as well. Of course, those are in the UHF, VHF, I think. VHF frequency band. FRS, of course, I programmed in there, but it pretty much uses the same frequencies as GMRS. And, of course, MERS and then my CB channels are also in there. Do I get CB radio? And I know this is a big question and why probably you might be watching this video. And if you just watch for this one little comment, yes, I have received CB signals on this radio. It's far and few between, and it's just luck of the draw. How well it works or transmits or whatever, I think you can transmit on these CB channels, but range, stuff like that, I can't make a comment. Again, going back to the whole GMRS and MERS and FRS shenanigans, I think you cannot use this for CB radio, but you can monitor with it. So again, I purchased this purely as a scanning thing. I do eventually think I might get the ham license if I ever find the time to actually do the studying and all the fun stuff involved with that. Moving right along, we have a bunch of other buttons. This one basically does the same thing as the other button. I also kind of use this button mainly as a clear button from if I'm doing something I need to clear out. Menu can be accessed by pushing this, and I'm not going to go through every single menu. And I got to say, this menu system is a bit confusing at first. I've kind of gotten used to it, but I just think there's too many menus within menus within menus. It gets a little confusing, but then again, most of these radios they make, including the ones from the big country overseas that makes a lot of these products, yeah, sometimes they don't quite get the menus. I found it's just as easy to download the Radtel RT-860 software. Works similar to Chirp. It's a bit of a learning curve, and there's a few things that are odd with this radio I'll go over in a minute. But the biggest thing I found is it would be nice if it did work with Chirp, but I don't see how it could. And I don't know how to explain that until you actually see how the Radtel software works versus the Chirp. But that being said, again, no problems there. I mean, and most people say if it's not Chirp compatible, I don't want it. I think it's just I just think it's more of an issue. Somebody hasn't done like a port or something that allows it to be used with Chirp as of yet, as far as I can tell. I haven't actually tried to even connect it using chirp. Again, I've just been using the Radtel, and I've been perfectly satisfied with using those. All right, so let's go into some other stuff we can do. So I have this button set if I want it to scan. So I can just turn it on, hit that second PTT button, and it's scanning through the channels. And basically it'll stop at 1 when it finds somebody that is transmitting. Probably while doing this video, I doubt that I'll actually get any transmissions, because that's the luck of the draw there. I'd have to record late at night and do a bunch of shenanigans and fun stuff to get that to happen. And I do have the light set to time off after 10 seconds, turn off after 10 seconds, and then it just turns back on once you hit the button, which also stops the scanning. When you press and hold, it does have a frequency listen mode, where if you're trying to pair it with another radio and figure out the frequency, if you're not sure what it is, then you of course can do that between 400 and 480, 136 and 174 megahertz. So kind of a handy dandy function if that's something you need. Is nice to have. I know a lot of radios do have that, so it's nothing impressive there. Pressing and holding this, I have it set up so it's a signal meter, but I actually think that was a mistake I did, because I actually had it set so when you press and hold this, it would go to NOAA radio. And I'd get my NOAA radio that way, but I will have to just change that shortcut back so that it doesn't go into the little, it's kind of like a little waterfall gimmick thing, but it's not the best. I mean, some people may find it useful for scanning frequencies and whatever. Pressing that brings you into the AM shortwave band, which nothing's coming in as of this point. Let's go ahead and just see if we can get something in on the old shortwave. Of course. And where I'm filming, yeah, not getting a dang thing in. Of course, where I'm filming in this particular area of the house, there is lots of Wi-Fi and signal things going on, so probably not going to happen there. And the way I got these presets set up, and this is kind of one of the tricky things, when you're in radio mode, your star key jumps through the different menus. So right there is to adjust, I guess, like an offset thing, which I don't know why it always defaults to -19. I always change it back to 0 because I'm used to the frequency being where it's supposed to be. And then if the arrow's there, it lets you enter in the frequency using the keypad. The main area I leave it in is right here in the preset mode. So when I'm going through, and right now we're on the AM, also known as medium wave in other countries, I guess. Then it's obviously in this frequency band now. The other way you can switch around too, depending on what you want to do at channel, again, this is where it gets confusing, is this also goes through the different AM, FM modes and stuff like that. But I found it easier just to program in some presets and change them as I need them to be changed. So that was AM radio, now we're into FM radio. What's the sound quality like? Well, it's a radio. It's what can I say? It's just one of those things that, I mean, if you just want to listen to music, but I mean, if I'm going to listen to music, I'm going to try to listen either on my phone or I'm going to bring something that's meant for music. But if I'm packing light and just maybe going hiking and I just want to sit and relax and chill out to radio for a little while, yeah, it would be handy to have, or get a weather update or news update or whatever. Once I get through this FM band, then we move on to long wave band. And yeah, nothing's gonna come in. I tried all the frequencies that are supposedly still broadcasting. The only thing you're probably never going to get on long wave here in the U.S. is if somebody's doing some kind of pirate radio thing, and I guess that is kind of a thing, that there is pirate radio that goes on in these shortwave frequencies sometimes, which is pretty neat, I guess. And 1500 in this area is, if I'm in the right area and the right position, you can get the clock, the atomic clock thing that they broadcast the pulse on that channel as well. But yeah, so far I am really liking this radio. I mean, I have the Baofeng UV 5R that I still use and monitor with that. It's a little bit smaller form factor when compared to the Radtel, just to give you an idea on size. Yeah, it's a little bigger. But that being said, if you did put the extended battery pack on the Baofeng, then you would obviously be about the same size, because the battery would go about to the bottom of this radio here with the bigger battery pack. And obviously you can see the battery pack size difference here. And basically the differences between the two radios. And we'll do one more quick scan through, as it's already, I think, nope. Let's hit it one more time and do the scan through. And yeah, nothing quite coming in on CB radio. Of course, I probably should have this one up taller, but sometimes having this one up, it interferes with this one. So I kind of just give it a little bit of space, and nothing is coming in, of course. But it's just your basic radio chatter. At night, you can listen to the evening nets on the ham radio frequencies and emergency frequencies, which is kind of neat. I do monitor the marine band, so I can hear if there's a boater in distress or whatever. Again, it is a great little personal scanner. We just kind of picked up something, but it's kind of scratchy. Yeah. Well, luck of the draw, we did pick something up, but I didn't quite hear if they were talking or if somebody was just keying in to key in or whatever. I know it wasn't me, because I do not touch that side button at all. But that'll do it for the Radtel. Can I recommend this as a little scanner unit, carry it around? And I mean, it's also emergency radio if you look at it that way. Emergency communication device. Would I recommend it? Yes, I would. I would say it's definitely handy. Oh, and the one thing I did program this emergency button for, because I have no interest in it ever using it for that function, is when I do press it, it gives me the option to adjust my squelch quick and easy, which is kind of nice there. When I just want to do a quick adjustment on squelch if I'm just trying to check a channel. But again, that'll do it for this video. Radtel radio, yeah, I'd recommend it. Yeah, for the price point, it's not bad at about, what, 30, 35 bucks, and comes with everything you need as like a little scanner. I mean, you know, you're not going to get digital radio, but you can definitely scan through, and I have picked up quite a few channels and quite a few frequencies, broadcasts, whatever, with this radio. We'll see you next time on IJDM. Thanks for watching.
All man is advised, break.